Hey, welcome back, y'all. So in my last video, if you watched it, I pulled down this new multi-cooker. Bought it over a year ago. It's been sitting out in the auxiliary kitchen for over a year. And I normally cook on the stove, pots and everything else. And, it's time consuming and you're sitting over the stove, you're regulating your heat, you're burning things, whatever. And I got thinking, wouldn't it be easier if I used the multi-cooker? It's also got a rice cooker function, so I don't need the rice cooker. I took it out to the auxiliary kitchen, did a hostage exchange, brought the multi-cooker in. So I had mentioned that I wanted to cook stew. I did. A couple of nights ago, I made stew. Now it took a while. Preparation takes a while. When I cook it on the stove, it take 4 to 6 hours. I know it sounds like a lot. I don't cook just good enough. When I cook, I want it to be the best it can be. And everybody that's eaten my stew, and I'm not going to try to brag. Okay, I'm bragging. They've enjoyed it, and I take a lot of pride in that. You see me do a lot of cooking, and I do. I take a lot of pride in that. I try to make the best I can, and if it isn't good enough, I'm going to keep practicing until it is. So the stew. This was a new phase for me using the multi-cooker. Okay, more practice, I'll get better at it. But, I learned from little mistakes that I made. I did things that turned out really good. So um, I cook a lot when I cook because then I can put it in containers, put it in the freezer or the fridge, or both. Depends on how many containers I've got, right? That freezer only holds so much. But I cook extra. And then I don't have to cook every night. Right now I've got probably 6 different meals in the freezer. It gives me options. So I cook some stew. Cool. Tonight I cook something else. You'll see that coming up. And yeah. Then Monday, I get up, I get my coffee going. Now I kill coffee makers. I think I leave the coffee on all day long, so it's getting hot. It's using that hot plate and the burner and stuff, and that's not good for them. Okay, guilty as charged. I'm a coffee maker killer. Put me up, lock me up, right? But Monday I had some coffee and I went to get me a second cup. And I walked over to the coffee maker and it was cold. I said, "What? Why is it cold? I just had coffee a while ago." Well, the burner, the hot plate on the bottom of it went sayonara, adios, RIP. And yeah, that caused a little bit of concern. Coffee is life for me. So I had to run to the mall and get me a new coffee maker. I'll talk about that here in a minute. Yeah, busy day or busy week. I will talk about what came up on Thanksgiving. And by the way, I hope all of you had a good Thanksgiving. I hope you have remember things that you can be thankful for. I'm thankful that I was able to find a coffee maker that's a good one. I'm thankful that I remembered the multi cooker and brought it in. Okay, I'm thankful for my life here. Really, I am. I don't know if you notice, I always trying to be a little bit humorous. Most of the time, I am happy here. Most of the time, except Thursday, but I'll talk about that. All right, cooking with Jerry. R.I.P. little buddy. You were good while you lasted. 14 months. Yeah. Okay. Well, I thought this was a good brand, but the hot plate, the heating element went out. R.I.P. Welcome home, my little friend. Hopefully, Emerflex is going to be better than Tefal. Tefal only lasted 14 months. Now, at SM, they had Camel brand and Hanabishi. Okay, I'm not going to badmouth the company, but I've heard good things about Immerflex. I have several Immerflex products, and they've been okay. I have a lot of LG products too, but they didn't have that. I don't think LG makes a coffee maker. So I want to figure out how to set the time here, because as you see it flashing, it's always 12 o'clock somewhere, right? I'll set the time and we can see how this thing brews up a pot of coffee. This thing to sizzle. So this has an aroma light. I'm trying for 2 times. Let's see how that works out. I make mine pretty strong anyway, because I'm using Kirkland, 100% Colombian. So we'll see. I haven't programmed it. I did get the time set. Okay. Actually, it's 2 minutes fast because I hit the wrong button. Actually, it's 1 minute fast. I meant to hit the aroma button, and I hit the minute button. Oops. I'll learn. Let's see how fast it takes to brew a pot here. Already it's about... the other one would have already had coffee coming down, but we'll see. And yeah, I had to make sure that was locked down. Otherwise, it just wouldn't get to the carafe, wouldn't hold the basket down to the carafe. The joys. Okay, this is always a good thing. 1 year warranty. And this is the 12 cup. They had 10 cups. I don't know. See, I have Tefal products, but it comes with these little reusable baskets, and I don't use that. I got the paper filters, and in fact, those are, I don't remember. Anyway, but yeah, 1 year warranty. Well, let's hope that I don't have to use it. This thing is slow though. You hear it's asthmatic, and the filters that I have are the brew right. I think I shipped these over from the US. I've got a bunch of them, and let's keep them right here by the coffee maker, but, underneath all my produce here. But yeah, this is taking a while, but we'll see. It sounds pretty asthmatic, but we'll see. It's already been, let's see, it's 3:53 when I started, so there's, what, yeah, 11 minutes, and yeah, we're getting there. It's hopefully, and no, these are not flashing, they're just my camera refresh rate. And hopefully it's not so strong that I gotta cut it, or it makes my socks fry or whatever. But yeah, we'll see how good this works. My screen fogged up. That means that moisture's getting inside of there. That may not be a good thing. I don't know. But here it is, almost 20 after, so 27 minutes to brew a pot. It's not even full yet. So some of the water is still inside, so hopefully the second pot will go faster. I should have just run a pot of water through here. In fact, they recommend to do that, I guess. Some people do, but I was just hoping that it would be good to go. Yeah, it's only gave me 10 out of the 12 cups, so there's still 2 cups down here in the tank. Oh well, hopefully the next pot will be faster. We'll find out in the morning. So I can't help but wonder, is there anything called too strong coffee? Nectar of the gods. Mother's milk. Now, one thing about the about this new coffee maker, this Immerflex, it shuts off after 40 minutes. If it takes 25 to brew, then it only gives you about 15 minutes left. Then it shuts off. I just turned it back on because I want to keep my coffee hot. You see I've got a cup right here. When that's gone, I might want another one later this afternoon, evening, whatever. I'll play with it. It's also got a program feature, but I never know when I'm getting up. So when I get up, that's when I turn it on. So I can do that myself. All right. Good coffee. I'll try it next pot without the two-time aroma booster or whatever. We'll see how it turns out. I mean, my Tefal made good coffee. All right, back to my coffee. Nectar of the gods. So I thought I'd give this thing a try. I showed this in my last video. You change this
until you get it down to what you want. And I'm searing some meat here. Just a little splash of oil in there. And I need to sear this and set the time for 5 minutes. Well, the default is 2. I got enough meat here. I really want to sear it for 5. And in the meantime, and I'm making stew, by the way. So I'm trying to see. Okay. It's hard to do this when you're looking through the phone and making sure everything's still in frame and everything. So I've got some juice making here, because after I get this seared, then I'm going to pressure cook this. You need to have liquid in there. Come on, there we go. Trying to put that anyway. So over here, I have carrots, bell peppers, 2 different kind, green and red, and I will throw those in with the broth that I'm making, and come back and I'll show you what we're doing. Now, the sear function is done. I got to move that cord. That cord is just in the wrong place. I'm going to move it over one hole. Anyway, the sear function is done without a lid. But when I pressure cook it, you better have the lid on there, because it will not build up pressure. Now, imagine that. Go figure, huh? Anyway, so I'm going to sear this meat, and I'll be back. Okay, so after the meat's seared, I quartered it up a little bit. Those were big chunks, so I like to have my stew go in. And this is the trimmings of meat that was less than desirable. Of course, I would scrape these little bits and pieces in there, because, hey, more flavor. So anyway, now back in the pot along with this, and we're going to pressure cook it. Yeah, got a lot of things to do. Okay, everybody into the pool. I have a can of large can of diced tomatoes. So the carrots and the bell peppers and the meat. Now I'm going to pressure cook this for 1 hour. Then I can put my potatoes in and put it on slow cook. I think that's what they call that. So let's see, what do they call that? So slow cook high. Okay, so this, I put the lid on, and it's got a lock, and you heard the beep beep. Okay, that means that it's locked. It's safe. So let's see, pressure cook. Where is it? I'm trying to find it. Where is it? All right, so I may have to go and pressure cook. Right there. All right, 14 minutes. No, I want to go to. Let's see if it'll keep going. Remember, this is the first time I've used this thing. Actually, it'll only give me what the hell? No. Cancel. I want pressure cook. All right, beef and lamb. There we go. All right, so you just got to keep pushing the pressure cooker. And I'm going to go for, let's just go for 40 minutes and see how it turns out. And, come on, turn on. There we go. Okay, so the lights are going round and round. That means, okay, we're going. So this light came on as soon as we hit start, and now it's pressuring up. It'll be 70 kilopascals. Don't ask me. Google it. I don't have time to Google it. And then once it gets up to pressure and temperature, it'll go to maintain pressure, and then it will, after it's cooked, and then it'll go pressure release, and then it can have the keep warm function, but it will go to pressure release, and then it will tell me when it is safe to unlock. So And I also have this button right here. You push that before you ever open this. Trust me. I learned that lesson when I was a kid. You don't open a pressure cooker while there's still pressure in it. Go figure that out. Okay, let's see how this does here in about 35 more minutes. So once this is up to pressure, you see where it says maintaining pressure. And I'm just going to get the whole row of lights. And remember, I set this at 40. Now, no, this is not flashing like that. It's just the refresh rate on the phone. And we're down to 37 minutes now that we're up to pressure. So see what happens here in about 36 minutes, right? So I'm going to take care of the potatoes here while it's pressure cooking, because these won't take as long to cook down. And I'll show you a little trick I have. And of course I'm going to put some garlic, and I got some onion to put in too. Fun fact, if you have potatoes that are starting to sprout like this, plant them in the dirt. Just plant them this side down, cover them up. They'll grow roots, and you'll have potatoes. So you can remember I've talked about sustainable gardening. See, this would make a potato. Actually, they make several potatoes. I mean, make one potato plant, because you get probably 2 kilos of potatoes off of each one. That would make a plant. This one's already broke off, so no, it won't. But anyway, I'm cutting off all the eyes, the sprouts, and I'll take care of the peelings and stuff and the skins, and then I will show you. I'm still debating. I just got to wash these down. I'm debating on whether to leave the skins on or not. Stay tuned. We'll figure that out. It's a pain in the patootie to peel these. It takes a while, and then you have all the peels to deal with and everything. But I'll think about it probably. But then I'll show you a little trick I'm going to do before. Should be done about the time my pressure cooker's finished. But anyway, stay tuned. So once this is up to pressure, you see where it says maintaining pressure. I'm just going to get the whole row of lights. And remember, I set this at 40. Now, no, this is not flashing like that. It's just the refresh rate on the phone. And we're down to 37 minutes now that we're up to pressure. So see what happens here in about 36 minutes, right? All right, so you've probably seen this contraption before if you've been around any time. This is my French fry maker. Now, when you're making stew or something, you got to cook potatoes, and yes, I just did decide to peel them. When you making sure that's steady. When you are cooking the potatoes, they don't take as long, but they take even less time if you cut them into small pieces. So I got thinking, why not make them like French fries, and then I can just cut them down from there, and then I just got little cubes. I mean, it's all going in the same hole, right? The stomach. And you want to make sure where your hands are. Anyway, I can cut these up into small pieces and have my potatoes cooked a lot faster. Yeah, I just thought I'd throw that in there. And I keep this out here. You've probably seen it in some of my other videos. If anybody's ever watched, very many people do. But if you've watched, then you would see this on my table all the time. And yeah, I've got my old coffee maker, my dead one here. I'm saving it because when I get bored, I'm going to fix the heating element, and then I'll have the coffee maker working again. It's simple. They're just a wire that burns out on them. So I'll get this up on this placemat here. And I have a fridge fry underneath. But this is all clean. I cleaned this several times already. Okay, so now I'll cut these down in little cubes. The reason I've got this container here is when I do that, I'll just fill that up with water, put these in here, then they won't brown up and stuff. So just little tips from your Uncle Jer. Okay. I just heard this thing beeping at me, and I think the F means it's finito. Yeah. Well, you see, it's pressure release. It's going to gradually go down. I don't know how it does that, but again, this is the first time using this. When it gets over here to keep warm, that means that it's finished. So another thing, you see I've got these potatoes in the in water. See how small the cubes are? Those will cook up really fast. And so now I got to get, oh, and yeah, I've got this tore apart. I've got the parts soaking. Just 3 wing nuts, 2 screws. And that's why I got the screwdriver out. I always have that screwdriver here on the table. Never know when you're going to use it. One other fun fact. Remember I said sustainable gardening. If you go back to my gardening videos, there's the seeds out of the bell peppers. I will separate those later, and I will dry those, and I will have seeds for my next crop. Or I can give them away to other people, and they could try it. Yeah, I have 2 of the green and 1 of the red. You can tell I'm leaving the ribs on there that hold the seeds, so I can tell which ones are the red and which ones are the green. Okay, well, let me get the garlic chopped up and get my onions. Onions are already chopped. I always have chopped onions, but anyway, I will put that away as soon as I get it washed up. I have a lot of dishes. This is not a one-step process. You know, people are amazed that I cook, and I like to cook well. I like to cook good food, not good enough, okay? Unfortunately, too many people cook just good enough, and I like it a little bit better. So we'll find out after it's all done. Like I said, this is the first time with this multi-cooker, and we'll see how it turns out. And pardon the mess, the maid's day off again, always. Permanently off. Okay, out. So it took a while to get to this, where the pressure is released. It's just on keep warm. I'm not sure what the B means, but we're gonna open this up and see how everything is. Make sure you always push this before you open it. Okay, so I pushed it. Now I can open it. Hear beep. That looks good. All right, so got a lot of water in there. And stir it up a few minutes, and then I'm going to put my potatoes and everything else in there. Yeah, see, this normally cooks down quite a bit. I'll test these carrots and see how tender they are. Take a piece of meat too, and I got a lot of cooking down to do. Wow, this is really soupy. I like my stew a lot thicker. All right, well, like I said, this is the first time trying to use this, but. Alright, so I got the potatoes and the onions and the garlic in there. These carrots are really done. The meat is super tender, but I'm going to put this on for pressure cook for about 15 minutes. Get the onion and garlic cooked down and the potatoes. And then we'll put it on slow cook for a while. Yeah, it's going to be a late dinner for me, but it's really soupy, and I'm hoping it thickens up. I added some cornstarch in there, so we'll see if that works. Yeah, it's not usually this soupy, so I don't know, I'm a little disturbed over that. But hey, again, like I said, this is the first time I've tried this. Probably because I used too much broth when I first started it. And then the tomatoes, they give it this color. I'd really like to add more tomatoes, but I think I'm a little full here. Okay. Okay, so now I'm on sauce thickening. You can do that with the lid off. Probably a good thing. Right there, sauce thickening, and you just go through your multi-cook functions here. And I set it for 15 minutes. That's the last it'll go, and I have to keep stirring it because this is just a little too watery. Even though I put some cornstarch in there, it's still just a little too watery for my taste, or for my liking, whatever. I don't know how it tastes. You know, the chef's supposed to taste this food. I'll taste it when I finish cooking it. Okay, so I started without you. It's pretty good, obviously. It's still kind of watery, though. I might put it, after I get one more bowl. Yes, I'm going to have one more bowl. I might put it on the thickening mode again and see if I can thicken that up a little bit more. With these carrots and this meat is just so tender. Yeah, fogging up my phone here. Getting too close. Yes, it's hot. Very hot. But that meat just basically falls apart here. I mean, it is so tender. That pressure cooking really works good. So I'm thinking maybe this weekend I'll have to make chili. I'll have to soak some beans and everything on Friday, and then Saturday I'll cook them. Since now I can use the pressure cooker. I've got a pressure cooker, big stainless steel pressure cooker I brought over. I think it's 12 quarts or something. I don't know. It's a pretty good size. And it goes on the stove, but I just never dug it out and used it. I mean, hell, I shipped everything that you could cook with over here. And this one here, since Christine wanted it, we bought it. And like I say, it's just now getting out of the box. And this is the first time it's been used. I'm liking it. A little bit more experimenting, and I think I'll have it. Because normally I cook my stew on stovetop in a pot and a lot of stirring and things. And now with the pressure cooker, I can cook it a lot faster. Yeah, it still took me about 4 hours, but anyway. And most of that was preparation. So, all right, guys, I'm out of here. Thanks for sticking around with Cooking with Jerry.
So there was an expat Thanksgiving dinner meetup in Alamang. It's on the border between Manila and Cavite. It's southwest of Manila. But that came up. I've known about it for about a month, I guess. One of my Facebook friends, fellow YouTuber, well, he's discontinued his channel. He just had enough. I can understand that. He hosts this. Now, last year I went and we had a good time. It was at Texas Roadhouse. Thanksgiving, steak, yeah, whatever. Anyway, turkey's not really a big dish here in the Philippines. I have seen turkeys. I was at seminary here a couple of weeks ago, and there were these white turkeys out roaming through the yard there where we park. Gee, I hadn't seen turkeys here, but I mean, some people know turkeys, but it's not a big dish. And Texas Roadhouse has enough seating to where the expats and their guests, their wives, their girlfriends, whatever, have a place to sit. And yeah, it's a little bit expensive, but it's okay. You only do it every so often. It's not like you're doing it every week. And I'm grateful for Steve for hosting that, and I appreciate it, man. And Susan, thank you for your hospitality. You kept the party lively. Anyway, we had a good time. Met some new people. Every time I go there, I meet new people. That's part of what it is. It's an expat community. We don't get to be with a lot of expats all the time. Not all of us. I mean, me. I'm not with a lot of anybody and all the time. So it's kind of nice. The problem is it's I have to go through Manila, and that's a long drive. Normally from here to Manila, it's an hour and a half to 2 hours. Friend from one of my Facebook friends says, "Can you pick me up in Pasig?" I said, "Okay, I'll pick you up and I'll take you." And so normally it would be about 2 hours. This time it took 2.5. Well, my friend wasn't ready. Got there an hour later than what we'd agreed to meet, and we still had to get from Pasig all the way over to Alabang. So it was about 11 o'clock. We were supposed to meet at 10. And of course, I got there half hour late, so I'm guilty too. I left here. I got up early, 6 o'clock in the morning. That's early for me. Got that little video clip coming.
Okay, it's morning. It's like 6:15 and the sun hasn't come up yet. I'm used to going to bed about 5 o'clock, so I don't know. It's kind of unusual for me to be up this early. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. Oh, sorry. I need coffee. Bad.
Okay, so I left here at 8 o'clock in the morning. I figured, hey, 2 hours to get to Pasig, right? That time of the morning should be great. Yeah, you know what they say about all good plans, right? Yeah, well, but I've been to the Philippines long enough that my watch runs on Philippine time. So, yeah, I'm a half hour late. I'm just on time, right? Actually, I'm a little early. But we left our meeting place in Pasig at 11 o'clock and just decided, let's just go to the mall. It's Evia Mall in Alabang. Let's just go to the mall. We'll get there a little early. If we're too early, we can go there's a couple of coffee shops there in the mall. We'll just get us a cup of coffee there, and then we'll join everybody. Now the meetup time was at 1 o'clock. It's when we could get the space available, okay? Because any later in the day, then the dinner crowd's going to start coming in. And any earlier in the day, you got the lunch crowd. So there you go. 1 o'clock, I guess that works. I mean, hey, it's steak, right? Who's going to turn that down? Okay, we're buying our own, but still, I don't get steak very often. And Texas Roadhouse is world renowned for having decent steaks, right? Love it. So we get there. The dinner's supposed to start at 1 o'clock. We get there at 12:35. I mean, it's like, oh my goodness, an hour and 35 minutes just to get that little bit of distance to Alabang. I should have known what was coming. We have our dinner and stuff. Texas Roadhouse is always good. It was good in the States. It's good here. In fact, that was my first meal in the Philippines when I flew in December of 2023. My future in-laws, they picked me up at the airport, and my future wife picked me up at the airport. Where did we stop? Texas Roadhouse. My father-in-law says, well, I figured you'd want an American meal. I was like, I just flew halfway around the world for Filipino food, right? Whatever. Yeah, it was good. So the thing started at 1 o'clock, and it went till, I don't know, 3:30 or 4 o'clock, somewhere around there. They needed to clear us out so they could get ready for the dinner crowd. I understand it's business, and we'd been there long enough. I'd met some new people and Facebook friended a few, and there was a guy that's a motorcycle enthusiast like I am, and lo and behold, he has a Harley Davidson here. Are you kidding me? Oh, man, I miss my Harley. But my big limited, my full dress, I mean, that thing weighs 1,000 pounds, 465 kilos or something like that. I mean, it's a beast. It would not be fun here, especially when you stop and go, and people cut through traffic and stuff. You're not going to do that with the beast. But he has a soft tail, and it's modified. It's got a great big 21-inch front tire on it and stuff, and it's lightened down, so he can ride it without too much trouble. But he uses his for like long rides and stuff. When you get out on the expressway and not have to worry about a lot of traffic. Excuse me, I'm going to cough. Pardon me. I felt that tickle in my throat. So he also has another bike. Lo and behold, it's the same model as my bike, Kawasaki Dominar, which is made by Bajaj. You can't say that without saying Bajaj. His is 1 year older than mine, so it's a different color, and I like his better because I like that color blue, where mine's like the charcoal black or whatever. Anyway, but I mean, I deal with mine, but he's put me in touch with a guy that custom makes parts for him. Lo and behold, he's got some risers and things, because when I'm riding, I'm leaning over, and you can only do that for so long. My back starts hurting. And with the risers and pullbacks, you can sit straight up and still hold on to the handlebars just properly and everything. And there's a proper way to do it. Anybody that rides will know. And the other thing is the foot pegs on this model of bike are too far back. And now, coming from Harleys and stuff, we're used to having our feet forward. And any cruiser has your feet forward. When you sit on there and you drop your legs down from your knees, that's where your foot peg should be. On this bike, when you drop your feet down, to put them on the pegs, your heels are underneath your patootie. So he says the guy is working on forward controls for these, and so you can get your feet forward. Now, man, I told him, I says, Snatch, I says, if this guy figures this out, I says, you got to let me know. I don't care how much it costs. I'm going down to Cavite and see the guy. I am going to contact him about the handlebar risers and see if there's some way I can make payment to him and get those handlebar risers and lift up my handlebars and pull them back a little bit. It'll be a lot more comfortable, but my heels will still be too far back. So anyway, that's coming. All right, I've rambled on. Show you some clips from a clip and a picture from Texas Roadhouse. And finally, tonight, I decided to make something else. I have a soup that I really like here. It's chicken and corn. And it sounds kind of simple, right? But I make it my way. And I'll show you in here. And I'm telling you, it was unbelievably good. I am falling in love with this multi-cooker. And I have some beans soaking. Chili tomorrow. Oh my God. But you don't have to see that tonight. So, all right, you all. Watch this, and I'm going to back out of here. This is long enough now. I hope y'all had a good Thanksgiving. I love y'all. God bless. Cooking with Jerry again. Okay, this time I'm going to make chicken and corn soup. I have my ingredients here. I got my soup mix. I got two different kinds. I have two of each of these, but I thought, I'll just combine them. Then my cream corn. We got a chicken breast, large chicken breast. Dolly Parton! Oh, sorry. And we're going to put it in here because we are going to use this again. It has a soup feature. I am really starting to love this multi-cooker. I think Christine was right when she said, get that. We'll love it. Yeah, she was right. Okay. So I am going to cube this chicken up into small pieces. And we're going to throw it in here. Then we're going to sear it. Then we'll add the water and everything. And we will get cooking on this in the pressure cooker part. And speaking of pressure cooker, I have pinto and black beans soaking. They'll soak for 24 hours. I'll rinse those off about 2 or 3 times. And then tomorrow afternoon, we'll use the pressure cooker and we'll make chili. All right. Okay, so I got some crackers in here, but that is, because it's a little bit watery, but I was just going off of what it says. See, I've got my whole corn in here, and this chicken turned out so tender. I seared it, and then I threw some water in with it, probably about, I think it was about 250 milliliters water. And I hit the sear again, so it kind of boiled it with that chicken in there. And then I threw everything in on top of it. Oh, yeah. I pressure cooked it for 20 minutes. Yeah, that chicken is just tender and it's tasty. Now, chicken and corn soup, you're supposed to throw raw eggs in there and let the eggs kind of cook into it and stuff. But I didn't do that. Threw some diced onions, some garlic in there. I don't know. I cook with onions and garlic on almost everything. When I did the second sear with the water in it, so that those would get tender. Yeah, you can't even find the onions and the garlic in there. All right, cooking with Jerry. I think this is enough cooking for one episode, right? See ya.